Game of Thrones comes back Sunday, and David Letterman announced his retirement in 2015. That's all we have for entertainment, but what about college basketball, you ask? We will find out next on the Inferno. Welcome to the Inferno. I'm your host, Allison Gargaro. Here with me today, we have our panel featuring Johnny Soto.
You know I had to do it for you.
Miles Todd.
Call me Obama, because I'm the president of Team Light Skin.
And Anthony Mitchell.
Whiteboard got back.
For this week's Heat on the Street, I went out with our reporter Maddie Hyman to compare the knowledge of the March Madness tournament between the Downtown and Tempe campuses. Let's check it out.
Welcome back to another edition of Heat on the Street. I'm Madeline Hyman here on the iconic Tempe campus, and we have Allison Gargaro downtown at our very own Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications. This is something we like to call Battle of the Campuses. Allison?
Thanks, Madeline. This is a challenge to see which campus knows more about the NCAA National Tournament. Let's get started. What are the four regions in the NCAA tournament?
North, west, south, and east.
Close.
I honestly have no idea.
Can you guess?
I couldn't even guess.
Filled out a bracket, so I should know this.
Gosh, there's the Midwest. It's the only one I know. I don't know the names of the regions. I don't know.
There's the Midwest, the Southwest, the Northeast, and North Central.
The East, West, Midwest, and South.
Good.
Then do you know what the four #1 seeds are?
There was Arizona.
ASU. I think ASU again and ASU. Oh, and ASU, there's four. That was three.
The Kansas is one. Arizona is the other one. I'm sure that hurts.
It does.
Wichita State, Missouri Valley represent. Gosh, Villanova's a two. I'm going through it in my mind now. Florida, duh, SEC.
Arizona, Florida, Virginia, and Wichita State.
Good. And then who won the tournament last year?
National. God, I'm doing horrible for Tempe right now. Yeah, Louisville.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And then who is the coach of the Duke Blue Devils?
He coaches the U.S. basketball teams too. I know his face. I'm just horrible with names. Doesn't start with like a W? Like, I don't know.
Oh my goodness, I know this. I should know this. Nope.
Mike Krzyzewski.
Okay, Mike Krzyzewski.
Do you know how to spell his name?
No one does.
Oh God, now you're getting hard here. Now I can't. I know it has a K. That's all I know.
Krzyzewski? No, I do not.
Okay.
K-R-Y. K-Z-R-Y something. K-Y-S-P-I-E-N-S-K-I.
Great job to both campuses. You really performed well under the pressure, and you made me proud to be a Sun Devil.
Congratulations, Downtown. We look forward to seeing more of these competitions on all campuses. Let's go to Lucas Robbins to see what has happened so far in the tournament. Lucas?
After an exciting month of March, we are now in April and only 4 teams remain. I highly doubt most people had these 4 teams making it, and here on the show, Florida was the only one we got right. The Gators were the only 1 seed to make the Final Four, and they will play 7 seed UConn. 2 seed Wisconsin beat 1 seed Arizona in the Elite 8 to earn their spot. They will play another gang of Wildcats, but this time they're from Kentucky. All games will be played not technically in Dallas, but North Texas. I would prefer to say the games are going down at Jerry World. This year, CBS and Turner Sports are trying something new with the telecast of the Final Four. Main coverages will air on TBS, but separate versions of the games featuring different broadcasters connected to the respective teams will be on TNT and True TV at the same time. Florida will be on TNT while UConn is on True TV, and for the second game, Kentucky will be on TNT while Wisconsin is on True TV. These teamcasts will feature voices of the Green Bay Packers, Orlando Magic, as well as some former college basketball greats. One of our favorites here on the show took home some hardware yesterday when Creighton's Doug McDermott was named Player of the Year by the Associated Press. Our boy Dougie McBuckets finished his career as the 5th leading scorer in the history of college hoops with 3,150 points. So sorry if March made y'all mad, but just know nobody won $1 billion. Back to you, Allison.
It's been a crazy one, Lucas. My bracket was busted right away. The panel has chosen a top game, player, and team of the tournament. Miles, which has been the best matchup so far?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of great games, a lot of great teams, but I'm going to go the recent one, Kentucky versus Michigan. I mean, those teams are going back and forth. The lead changed almost every other possession. It was such a great game. I don't think the lead was more than 5 or 10. I mean, just look at those mascots. They're fierce. Anyway, moving on. I mean, what it really came down to was Aaron Harrison's three-point buzzer beater, so to speak, at the end.
Game-winning shot.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful, beautiful game. Yep. That's how an Elite 8 game should be played. Allison?
Good choice, Miles. Anthony, which team do you think has outplayed the rest?
I don't know about outplayed the rest, but we got to talk about Dayton. That was an 11th seed that made it all the way to the Elite 8. They beat the Buckeyes. They beat Q's. They beat Stanford. It took Florida to knock them out. That's who we picked going the whole way. I mean, yeah, the Flyers are just a bunch of bracket busters, though. If that sounded salty, it's because I am. They came at us like a dark horse. After that first win, I just wanted to redo my bracket, but hey, there's no going back. Huge run by them. Funny story, Miles Todd used a random generator that picked Dayton going all the way. We laughed at first, but hey, he dared to play with magic. He knew what he was fighting for, and now the pool is in the palm of his hand. Baby.
5. That's 5 Katy Perry.
Dayton definitely has had a good run in the tournament. Johnny, which players made a name for themselves and their team?
Well, there was many great players in the tournament this year, but the guy who stood out the most for me was Shabazz Napier from UConn.
He's good.
Not only does he have a cool name, first name, but he also did well in tournament. He averaged 23.2 points per game in the tournament. That's 5 points higher than his regular season average. He also led his Husky crew to a couple of upsets to get to the Final Four, which include being the number 2, 3, and 4 seed in those regions, which were Villanova, Iowa State, and Michigan State, which a lot of people had Michigan State winning. Yeah. Allison?
Gators, Huskies, Wildcats, and Badgers. Oh my. Lucas, tell us how the Final Four will fare.
The Final Four starts when UConn and Florida tip off in Arlington at 3:09. So far, the story for UConn has been clutch senior guard Shabazz Napier, the second-year head coach Kevin Ollie. The two have done a stellar job rebranding the UConn basketball, as they've had some big shoes to fill since Kemba Walker and coach Jim Calhoun won it all in 2011. The Gators are a well-balanced top seed and have a veteran coach in Billy Donovan. Florida hasn't lost since early December, but who beat them? The UConn Huskies. This is going to be a good one. On the opposite side of the bracket are the Badgers and Wildcats. Entering the season, Kentucky had high hopes when their freshman class was called the best of all time. After underachieving during the regular season, most people counted them out. Head coach John Calipari was a believer, though, in his young team led by athletic forward Julius Randle. Wisconsin is a solid team with good defense and chemistry, and center Frank Kaminsky is the player to watch, as he had a double-double in the win over Arizona. Tip-off for this one is set it a little bit after this game at 5:49. Allison?
The only first-ranked team in the dance is Florida. Can they continue to beat the underdogs of UConn? Panel, who do you see winning?
Well, I got to go Florida. I've got them winning. I mean, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. They're the only 1 seed left in the tournament. It's who we picked on the show. And the Huskies have been playing very inspired basketball, but it's not going to be enough.
Well, you know, the last time these two teams played was in December, and Shabazz won it for them on a buzzer beater 65-64. So that's why I got to go with the Huskies, because they've just been on a roll since the second round of the tournament, being the underdog and playing like they have nothing to lose. Miles?
Yeah, you make a good point. However, I'm going to have to pick Florida. That's the state, and you turn it, it's a Gator.
Now that's clever.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway,
Gold star.
I'm picking Florida because, you know, you're right. They did lose against UConn. That was I think that was their last loss.
Yeah, their last
Shabazz
loss.
Napier, he has been doing well. However, the Gators are looking for revenge. And what better way to do it than in the Final Four of the NCAA tournament?
And I don't know how many times one dude could do that buzzer beater that he had in that game. That was ridiculous.
I guess a better way would be in the finals, but, I mean, they can't do that. So, I'm picking Florida. Okay. Allison?
Wisconsin just pushed past Arizona to make it to the Final Four. Do they have the stamina to keep up with Julius Randle and the fast-paced Kentucky offense? Panel, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, I'm going to have to pick the Kentucky Wildcats. Like Johnny said a couple shows back, in this tournament, it's all about who's hot right now. And who's hot? Who's hotter than Kentucky? I mean, they beat Kansas State. They beat Wichita State. They beat Louisville. They just came off a great win from Michigan. They got everything going for them, and they got superstar Julius Randle. I can't see them losing. I got Kentucky.
You said it all, man. Randall, you want to talk heat? Let's talk the Wildcats. Yeah, I got them.
Well, you know, another thing to add on to Kentucky, they've been playing like a veteran team ever since the tournament started, even though most of them are freshmen. However, I got to go with the Badgers, poorly drawn Badger there. But, you know, they got Frank Kaminsky. U of A had trouble guarding him. I believe he had 28 points in that game. I don't think Julius Randle is going to stop him, so I got the Badgers advancing in that game.
I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
It's a Final Four that will leave you wanting more. That's all the time we have today. I'm Allison Gargara, and we will see you next Friday on The Inferno.